I never came back last night, and I apologize. I got in and had to call somebody to catch up on some things, and it was a phone call that went quite late. I think I was actually starting to doze off on the phone, and God, it's been years since I've done that. That's such a long distance relationship thing to do. Just be on the phone with somebody and talking and be getting tired and being like, you know, I want to be talking to this person, but I'm so sleepy. So that was a unique feeling I haven't felt in a long time. But sometimes you just need a phone call because texting takes too long. So I didn't mean to disappear. Not that anything eventful happened. She wants me to do everything on her timetable, and it doesn't make sense. The fact that she's moving to San Francisco isn't my problem. The fact that her work transfer appears to have come through, not my problem. This is the same woman who won't tell me anything about her life. Why would I be inclined to help anyway? But if she's cut me out, I'm just gonna do what's good for me. So she sent me a text asking me to be out of the house by 8:30 a.m. Saturday so she can come in and pack some things. And it's like, wait, I work all week. No. I'm not gonna get out of my house when you ask me to so you and your boyfriend can come in. Like, no, that's crazy. Starting the morning with a rant, I apologize. In the heat of the moment, when the adrenaline of an email or a text comes through that's disrespectful or a little absurd, it's very easy to get wrapped up in it and think like, ah! So my whole approach to this process, what seems to have worked for me, is go slow. Don't do anything immediately. Take a beat to stop and think and process. Don't respond with your reactionary mind. Respond with rational thought. When I weigh everything out, she's in a hurry. She's in a hurry to be done, to be divorced, to move away, to go to meet. Everything has been her go. And I am not. When things are hurried, they can get sloppy. And yesterday, last night I texted her something about I don't think it's wise to unstage the house before it's closed on. And she texted back, all the contingencies have been removed. It's fine to take the furniture. And I have a text from my realtor from yesterday saying I wouldn't do anything until after the 26th. Well, it is not the 26th. So she's just saying things. She's just not right. She thinks she's read the contract and is right, and she isn't. Because I trust the realtor. It's his job. So maybe she thinks she's reading the contract right because she's a lawyer. But I'm not going to trust her. I'm going to trust the realtor. And I'm not going to make her problems my problem. The fact that it might be inconvenient for her to not move out. An email came in from the mediator this morning to everybody. To me, to my wife, to her lawyer, to my lawyer. Basically saying she'll back off a bit so they can settle it amongst themselves. But then it's funny. She was offering rationale for why she did some of the things that she did in mediation. Because I think my attorney was calling that into question. If I had to predict the future, I think today will be a day with texts and emails going back and forth. Because I need to respond to the mediator's text from yesterday, which I'm sure will trigger something. And the last text from my wife said, please remove the lock from the storage space when you get home tonight. Yeah, I didn't do that. I'm not going to leave my storage space unlocked. I'm just not going to. And until I have a chance to go through and take out what I want to take out, I'm not going to give her access to that. Her timetable is not my timetable. I just have a feeling there will be emails and texts, and I need to look over that spreadsheet and send it back to her. She just wants it faster, sooner, now. And there's no deadlines. Her deadline is her moving away. I don't know what day she's moving. She won't tell me. And I think she won't tell me out of fear that I'll be mean and I'll hold it over her head to be like, no, you can't do this. I would slow play it for the purpose of ruining her life. And the mistake she's making is thinking like that. She knows, I am kind and nice and have loved her for so long. I would not do that. If I could coach her, I'd be like, hey, be nice to your husband because that compels him to do things for you. That's not happening. She's being cold and frosty and not kind, and that just makes me defensive. She doesn't really care what I think. I will see you here after school. Ta-da! We're done. That was a good day. What were the highlights? One of my former students came back to visit and help, which is really fantastic. he brought donut bar, so I was kind of hungry, and a Nutella donut from Donut Bar, not a bad way to deal with that hunger. We had a lockdown drill, which sucks. I hate them because it is kind of triggering. You take it seriously and you have to cover the windows and lock the doors and turn off the lights and just kind of hide in your own classroom. And it was particularly awful because I was alone. I didn't have any class then, so I'm just sitting there in the dark in my room. And I think it's probably just because I'm much more sensitive lately. I'm just sensitive to things, emotionally I'm more raw. So sitting there in the dark, listening, the trauma and the horror of what it could actually be like does wash over you a bit. It's not silly, it's not funny, it's not like haha, it's like, oh god, this is sick. It's very real even when we do drills. We've got a project deadline Friday, so the kids are working, and it's lovely right now because they're getting smarter. They're working on these projects. It's just making sticks of a particular length and thickness, and with hole spacing, it's just a set of calipers. But they're at the stage now where they have enough skills where if they mess up, they can go back and make the same thing faster and better. And that's a brilliant moment. Like, how often in life do you get that? Where you're like, oh man, I am smarter and better than I was a week ago. The thing that took me 45 minutes last week, I could do now in 5 minutes. It's awesome. I love that about the class. You can see people get empowered with knowledge, and it's one of the reasons I love my job so much. And then I had to say goodbye to one of my students. He's leaving for college, and he just finished this record holder that he's been working on. And I still get choked up. He was just like, thank you for being an amazing teacher, for making me smile. But it's just like, oh man, please just go, stop. You're choking me up. It's hard because I'm so sentimental, and he was only with me for 2 years, but man, he was really into the class and doing stuff well above and beyond what other people were doing. And I am really sad to see him go because it's been such a pleasure working with him, mentoring him. I didn't have to teach him very much because he was teaching himself so much. So just basically facilitating his process. The minor bumps in the road you hit when trying to learn something, I could be like, oh yeah, just do this. And then he would go, and it was a beautiful process to watch. So yeah, it will be sad to see him go because, people go to college and change and develop, and it's nice, but they definitely grow apart from me. And I shouldn't be selfish about them. I mean, I grow too. I'm definitely a different person than I was 6 months ago. I'm growing and changing and maturing and having ideas and developing new passions and new strengths I didn't know I have, and new goals and outlooks in life. So, it's all fluid, and what I really try and focus on is being grateful for the time we have. I got 2 years with him. I was awesome and special, and everything will change, but those 2 years were really good and fun. So, I'm trying to do the same thing with my marriage. That one's harder. To be like, hey, we're together for 7 years, and they were 7 good years. But all the stuff that's come after really makes me wonder about all the stuff that's come before, and that's the part that I hate. Because I don't know what's real, I don't know what to believe. School is out. I have received the coordinates for which I am to go and sign the quitclaim for my lovely wife's freedom. So she's welcome to buy whatever property. I don't want to do this. I think I've put so much time into this that I'm going to ride the boosted board through downtown, sign the thing, go back to the house, take the dog out, and then go to the barn. The hell with it. Why belabor it? Why take it any more seriously than she took the signing of our divorce papers? I think I told you that. When the papers got passed across the table to her, she signed it as effortlessly as if she was signing a receipt at the grocery store. It's just like, signing these quitclaim things that will get her out of my life. You're not worth being with. Actually, one of my barn friends asked me for a ride home. She lives in La Jolla, so I'm gonna hang out in the barn and then give her a ride home after her lesson. I don't know. I don't care. It gives me purpose. Super. I will detour through La Jolla. I've got gas in the car. I've got time. I had a couple texts with the mediator today. I sent a very, very quick text this morning saying, hey, I feel compelled to write just so I don't look like some absentee participant in this mediation process. And then I sent a longer text back saying that I didn't think we should put... These coincidences are funny. Coincidences are funny in this thing. She booked an elevator this weekend and she wanted to come in and pull stuff out. And I protested last night saying that the contingencies hadn't been removed. You know, I said they wouldn't be removed till the 26th. In a group text that I sent to the mediator and her, I said, you know, I think it's unwise to unstage the house until contingencies, you know, on the 26th. And she writes back a little while later, oh, they messed up when booking her cargo elevator to move out of the building. It's not actually this Saturday, like she has the elevator on the 26th. And that's like, huh, what a coincidence that the exact date you could get the elevator is the exact date that the contingencies get lifted. That's fine, because by then I can be moved out. I can have it be a shell of a place. I can be into the other place and it can just be her crap and she and him can prance around naked if they want. White car? White car. Of course she's here. I'm gonna go sign this thing. I'll see you from somewhere soon, I'm sure. Guys, that's what my life used to look like. Those two cars. This is probably the last time that's gonna happen. So I've been thinking about the nature of ceremony or building things up in your head to be something bigger than they are. I just went to the UPS store downtown to sign this quitclaim, the thing that will allow my wife to buy this property with her boyfriend. So I signed a legal stipulation to say that it turns out she bought it with money that was ours. I'm legally allowed to pursue that money. This quitclaim has been such a thing for so long. Like, sign the quitclaim, sign the quitclaim. Why won't we just sign it? Why won't we just sign it? You know, so when you build it up and ultimately get to the moment in which you sign the thing, picture it's going to be a big thing and stacks of papers, blah, blah, and you walk into a UPS store where you could ship like a broken Blu-ray player. It's a UPS store. There's nothing special. They just happen to have a notary. And I was like, hi, I'm Ken. I have to sign a quitclaim. And this guy, you know, this guy with male pattern baldness and a ponytail was like, oh yeah, hold on. And he goes and gets these forms. He's like, you have to sign that and that and that and show me your license. I did that. It was just too easy. It was like, that's all it took to sign away. Basically, to give my wife permission to go. To be like, hey, yeah, go buy whatever you want with this guy. I give you my blessing. That's what it feels like. And it feels bad because she's been terrible. She's done a terrible thing. He's done a terrible thing. The world looks very different, but not bad. And that's nice to say. 5 months ago, the world looked bad. Today doesn't look as bad. I have little bits of hope here and there. I went out for drinks with someone new last night. That was great. I just feel like, particularly with significant paperwork, like when you go to get your marriage license, when you actually go to do like the marrying thing, like you go to a government building and fill out forms and sign the thing. Like it's, you know, you want it to be so much bigger, but it isn't. It's just legal. It's just papers. It's papers you agree to sign that can be used against you. Papers that she's probably regretting signing right now, but she wanted to get married so bad. I mean, I was super excited to get married, but I always thought someone that awesome would never want to marry me. Always. It's too good to be true. I do now wonder if it was too good to be true, because people that had the kind of relationship we supposedly had don't treat each other the way she treated me. So I rode my boosted board down to the UPS store, which is fun. I love riding the boosted board around. I looked over these forms, and it has the address of the property they're buying. So now I know where she's moving. This property that's been a huge secret for months. So now I know. Now I know the address up in Northern California. I can Google Maps it. I can find out where she's gonna be. I have no feeling about it. I'm not like, yes! Okay, that's where you're going. That's what you're doing. I don't understand the nature of it. You know, I loved her so much. I would have done that. If she was like, I really want to buy a barn and I want to do all this and learn all this, I would have full up and like, let's go for it. You know what? I will learn everything I can, and what I don't know, I will ask people. Or like, I would have been all in because I loved her. It's surreal. It's the concrete reality versus the concept. You know, before it was, oh, that's crazy, she's gonna buy a barn in Northern California. It was this vague thing, and lots of us were trying to figure out where this property was, and nobody knew, and she wouldn't tell anybody, and it was mysterious. People were curious. And as time passed, people were just sort of like, it's somewhere up there. She's not telling anyone. That's weird. And whatever is the weird part, that dismissiveness of being like, she won't tell anyone. The emotional investment I had decreases with time. You won't tell me, then why would I be invested in you? The thing that's funny, what I'm sort of trying to figure out right now in terms of spitefulness is, now that I know the address, and she wouldn't tell me because I might tell his ex-girlfriend, now I kind of want to tell his ex-girlfriend. Never would have been my MO before, but it's like, because it was such a thing, it's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy. You won't tell me because I might do this outrageous thing? Well, now that I found out, I'm going to do that outrageous thing. Just to spite you. And spite is such a powerful thing, and I'm better than that. Right now, for instance, right this second, she sent me quite a barrage of texts today about unlocking the storage space, about giving the combination to the storage space, about letting her go in and itemize stuff. This is her current obsession. You know, she's gone through different obsessions through this thing, whether it's language or concepts or the fear that I will tell his ex-girlfriend. She fixates on a thing, and the combination to my storage space is her current fixation. She's talked about that or made mention of it 6, if not 8 times in the past 36 hours. And what I'm trying to get behind is, just because she wants it doesn't mean I have to give it to her. You know, if she wants to get in there and itemize Christmas ornaments, I want to get my stuff out first. I've done as I promised. When I got the go-ahead from my attorney, I went and signed the quitclaim. Shall we play a game? You want to make a future prediction? Do you think I will get a text from her saying, thank you so much, this is such a relief, this is such a load off, you don't know how much this means to me, you're such a great person, I really appreciate the fact that must have been hard for you, or awkward. Do you think any of that's going to come through? I'm going to put my money on no. Do you want to put your money on yes? The last text she sent was like, please confirm if you're going to sign the quitclaim today. I already agreed the other day that I was going to do it. Like, I just find this repetitive, like, I'm good to my word. I've always been good to my word. If I say I'm going to be there, I'm going to be there. She sends me these brusque, demanding texts. I will find a notary on Wednesday. The documents will be there. I will send you the address on Wednesday. Okay. That's the tone we're using. Got it. Okay. Then today, she did exactly that. And I wasn't initially like, awesome, I'll be there. Because I was at my job. And I used to make time for her at work. Because she was my wife and I loved her. And she was my number one, and I would have done anything to make sure she was okay, you know? So if she called in the middle of class, I would answer because it's probably important. And if she texted something, I would read it because it's probably important. But when she texts me now while I'm at work, no, it's not as important as my job. I'm not going to respond. It's a nuisance. All of this is a nuisance. Discussing splitting up our stuff is a nuisance. It's a pain in the ass. I have these weird little things I'm stuck on, like her wanting the tent. It's bothering me. We have some really nice shun knives that we got. We have a chef's knife, we have a bread knife, we have a paring knife, and we have steak knives that we got for our wedding. She wants all of them. And on my spreadsheet, I was like, let's divide them up. I'll take the bread knife and the steak knives, you take the paring knife and the chef's knife. It's a 7-inch chef's knife. It's better for the size of her hand. No, she wants all of them in trade for something else. It's weird. So she wants all the Japanese knives. When we were in Japan, we got 2 of these like tapestries. They're really pretty. 2 of them of a tree. One's a mountain cherry and one's, I forget. So I was like, let's divide those up. No, she wants both of those. And I'm like, why? Is it because your boyfriend's half Japanese? Like, are you making some heritage play? It's still stuff she and I bought on a trip that she and I went on and chose together and hung in our home for a couple of years. Like, they're ours. But I guess if he's comfortable enough stealing someone's wife and living with someone's wife for half a year, living with stuff that was in somebody else's home doesn't matter. He'd probably be happy to have my mattress. I think that's weird. Do you think it's weird? What's happening in the present tense is that I've gone and I've signed this quitclaim, and what she's requested is that I let her know if I'm signing it, or what good manners would be is to let her know that I went and signed it. And I just don't feel like it. I've done the work. I've done the thing. I don't feel like being like, reporting in, I have done what I said I would do. I know that's good manners. I just don't feel like it. I'm wrestling with that. Am I being childish? I mean, it sounds like a control move, right? I made good on my promise. I did what I said I would do. I don't have to do anything more. She can go back to the UPS store and see if I've signed the papers. And that would be fine. Like, I did not agree to tell her when I'm done. And I don't know why I'm being so petty. I think I'm probably just reacting to this. It feels weird to be like, you know, sign your name and be like, okay, go, go, go. Go buy your thing. Fly free, little bird. Leave me. I don't approve of her leaving me. You know, it's like, I don't consent to this. You did a terrible thing. Don't make me agree to it. And I guess it's just sort of cognitively dissonant. I don't know how to balance it. What she did is not okay. What she did is not okay for anyone to do to anybody else. Period. It's just not. You don't cheat on other people. You don't break up a marriage. You don't blindside somebody. She's running on this madness timetable. You know, if you meet somebody else, my opinion, you try to fix the marriage. You go to therapy. You give it a go. Because you know, you took vows. You made a pledge. Try. And if that doesn't work, then, you know, dissolve the marriage. Like, end it. Respectfully. It's still gonna hurt. It's still gonna suck, but at least there's dignity in it. And then when that's done, then it can come out that you've had a boyfriend the whole time. Still shitty, but, and then once you're divorced, do what you're gonna do. Buy what you're gonna buy, you know, do your thing. It's your life. But in the midst of our, like, we are still married. Having to sign that thing, it does feel like a little bit of a slap. And I know people do it all the time. It still doesn't feel good.
LA, you can get a taste. Miami, you can get a taste. Oakland, you can get a taste. New York, do you love the taste? Chi-town, you can get a taste. Houston, you can get a taste. Hey, Portland, you can get a taste. DC, let them taste. You can get a taste. You can get a taste. Do you love the taste? Worldwide, they can get a taste.
That was interesting. I agreed to drive 2 people home, and it was a pretty circuitous adventure. So I'm somewhere in La Jolla right now, but not entirely sure of exactly where. We drove home down the coast because that was fun and listened to music, but it seems like every song they put on, while the music was good, all had like breakup song lyrics. And I was like, come on, you guys, please, because they know my deal. But it was fun. It was a good time. It was kind of raucous, and they kept turning up the stereo volume. But seriously, like, who cares? It was fun. I secretly thought maybe the other one was just trying to get me lost. But no, I actually ended up dropping her off at home, so that was fine. The barn was really good. Matt was showing me videos of really famous horses, and it was just cool to watch them jump and sort of make sense of all of it. We were talking about horses that are coming, and I was looking at pictures of trips they'd been on, like looking for horses, and it's just cool. I'm aware I'll never be going to Europe to look for a horse. Sure, that'd be neat, but I'm not that kind of person. I take that back. Sure, I'm that kind of person. I just don't have that kind of means. I don't live that lifestyle. While that's a little bit of a bummer, I love my life. I love my job. I love what I do. I'm just going to make the best of what I can. And I'm sure there'll be days when I'm like, oh, I wish I could do more. But I'm a pretty lucky person right now. I go to work every day, and I'm psyched to work, and I'm psyched to see the people, and I'm excited to teach people stuff. And I have people come back to visit because they like the program and they like what we do. And that's awesome. You know, that's something that takes time to build. And to have a little bit of that right now is so monumentally rewarding. Oh, exciting things. So, you know, we're just kind of hanging out, and my trainer says to one of the other trainers, she said, hey, do you have anyone riding Vinny tomorrow? And I thought, oh, maybe I can get a lesson. She said no. So my trainer was like, hey, why don't you take Vinny down on a trail ride tomorrow? So I don't have to pay for a lesson. I just get to ride Vinny tomorrow. Yay. You know, I'm going to go to work, and then after work, I'm going to go to the barn and take my favorite horse on a trail ride. That's perfect. That is how I want to spend tomorrow afternoon. You know, the time is planned. It's you know, not down to the second, but I know tomorrow afternoon I have something to do. I know Friday afternoon I have something to do. Saturday I have something to do. Other things I can do, things I have to do for school. It gives me a framework to work within, and for me that's really good. I just feel good. I'm in a good place right now. I never did text my wife and tell her I signed the quitclaim. I feel a little bad about that, but with all this separation has to come a little bit of indifference. There is this fear that everybody has, and the fear is treat her nicely or she's gonna be mean. And every single person I've talked to in this breakup process that knows her says the same thing in some way, shape, or form. People that have known her a long time, people that have known her, anyone that knows her well enough to go through one iteration of liking and then some form of disliking and then liking again, knows that you have to be really careful with her. The mediator warned me that we don't want to upset her too much or she could really lash out and be mean. And it's like, my God, even the mediator, the fair and impartial person, is reading her and knowing, yeah, she can be mean. That's messed up. But I feel it now with this whole quitclaim thing. I should really let her know I signed the thing, because if I don't, the rest of the divorce thing, like, she's gonna be nasty. Well, you know what? She's been nasty throughout. She's been not honest, not clear, lying by omission. Like, it's not been a good scene. For me to worry that if I don't do everything her way, I'll be punished. I need to get over that. You know, I need to take the strength back and be like, you know what? She'll deal. She chose to give me up. She chose to give up all of this. I'll give you part of me. I'll communicate, but like the genuineness, the courtesy, the kindness with which I treated her all the time, I don't have to do that anymore. I still kind of want to, because I think it's good manners, but I also don't want to because she's not nice. So it is an act of will. And maybe that's why I feel conflicted, because it doesn't feel natural. I'm not going to take abuse anymore. I think that's what it comes down to. I'm going to be treated well. Yeah, the trip to the beach and the trip down to La Jolla was pretty darn manic and pretty darn fun, between the music getting played way too loud and every song that they tuned into the radio seemed to be about breakups and heartbreak, and anytime I changed it, they would just put the music back on, and I can't figure out what I like about it. Maybe it's the bantery idleness of high school. You know, just the freedom of being alive and or the joy. I don't know, just traveling, you know? I was driving them home, so we had to get from the barn to their houses. There wasn't a particular timetable. Nobody had to be home at a particular time. So instead of taking the highway, we took the coastal route. The sun was setting and they're like, let's fly the drone. So we got out and like it just, one thing fed another, fed another, fed another. The feeling I have is I was, you know, helping their parents out by driving them home from the barn, which I would have been doing anyway. And it was pretty out. So it was just cool. It was just people driving and talking and joking around. And we were driving this way and there were two cops over there. They threatened to scream, "You're kidnapping us," or "We're not being kidnapped," out the window. And that was sort of like, ha ha ha, don't do that. That'd be bad. So I'm home now. I don't exactly know what I'm doing tonight. I might just do some paperwork. I don't think I'm going to stay up late. I think I'm just going to chill. Yeah, maybe I'll see it from upstairs. Okay, bye.